Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, but they got nerds working for them too, so they'll figure it out. I think I'm recording this now, so
All right.
just send them the file and the nerds will print it. Okay, so we're in Dalhousie, New Brunswick right now.
We are.
This is volume 4, I believe, of the podcast, episode 4, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So we're in Dalhousie, New Brunswick, and I thought it was funny because there's a lot of French people here. There's a lot of French people to the point where their newspapers and all their signage is in French.
Yep.
And that kind of freaked me out because we passed a grocery store. I think we're about to pass it again. There it is. So I know that to them, that's the, I'm not going to pronounce it wrong, Family Prix store?
Right.
Family Prix. But it says Family Prix, and I'm English, so that store is called Family Pricks. Now, I don't know what they sell in there. It's like a family sex shop, I guess. Dildos for the whole family. That's a weird thing to say, Scott. That's just Family Pricks to me.
I'm not surprised by it.
I just think that you need to be a little more respectful of English-speaking people in our pronunciation, because I don't speak a word of French.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's weird, it's my first time out on the East Coast, and I thought the French were pretty much all in Quebec. I didn't know they took over the surrounding towns as much.
They're spreading like one of Scott's STIs.
First of all, that was a long time ago. Let's not talk about that anymore. Didn't want to know.
But it's hard to get anything from these people, like freaking ordering chocolate milk. The guy just standing there for 5 minutes like an asshole.
He knew it. He knew what I was fucking saying. Chocolate. How many fucking chocolate things do you have in there? He didn't even start like waving chocolate bars at me. He just looked at me stupid like he didn't know any fucking clue what I was saying. And I was even saying it right. We checked later. I probably wasn't saying it right, but milk is Olay. I was saying chocolate, Olay, chocolate. And you had to run up and fucking throw a goddamn empty container at him before you knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy, and coming from Manitoba, I had a grade 9, English-speaking school, French education, which was very limited. It was pretty much like a crayon, a monstre, and shit like that. And I thought I had learned to French swear. So for years I was running up to people, swearing at them, cussing them out, yelling, "Qu'est-ce que c'est? Qu'est-ce que c'est?" Which I then found out is just, what is this?
You sound like the most profound French person ever.
You thought you were hardcore, right?
Yeah. A very philosophical kid.
Mon crayon est grand, Scott.
Don't know what that means.
You don't know what that means? Chris, you took...
The French joke I remember was from Jeremy Hotz. Yeah, it's just say to
Not a joke. I'm speaking from the heart. Mon crayon est grand. Chris, you got Manitoba French. What does that mean?
Your pencil's not that big, Nelson.
See, Scott, did you not take French in school?
I did, a long time ago.
What do you remember?
Je suis tu es il est elle est nous avons vous avez il vont elle vont. That's it.
Was that a song? Did you have to learn that in song format?
Maybe. I remember playing French bingo too, where we take little symbols and kind of like flashcards and kind of like this is the fire and then say what the word is.
I play French bingo as well. That's a Métis sex game. That's what we.
I'm not surprised.
That's what we do sometimes. Yesterday was a good show. I had a lot of fun. I don't remember most things about it right now.
Really?
I may be blocking it. No, but it was fun. It was a good show. Thoughts on the show, Scotty?
It was, I wasn't sure what else it would be. But then it picked up, and it was really fun. Really great venue. The owners are awesome to us. They treated us like rock stars, to lack of a better term. They gave us they provided some space. They gave us free alcohol. They had a great time, and definitely want us back. And that's an awesome feeling.
You just sold that venue to every comedian and musician that might listen to this by saying they gave us free alcohol. That's all. We're in.
It's Porteous.
They don't even care where it is. Bathurst, New Brunswick.
Well,
I don't give a shit.
If they like you, they'll do it.
Yeah, what did they say? They compliment us. We're lifting things up or something? We raised the bar.
We raised the bar in Bathurst. So,
yeah, bitches. Yeah. We won't elaborate on that, but we raised the bar.
We raised the bar.
Scott was raised in the bar. Scott went missing when we were in Bathurst. I'm going to talk about this for a minute. Scott went missing. We decided to hang out in the van for a little bit. That's what you do when you're on the road and broke. And Scott wandered off to get something to eat, he says.
My phone sent me to this place for food, and it wasn't a restaurant at all.
So we showed up. And where did Scott take us to get a bite to eat? We walk in, and it's all dark and dirty and Pulp Fiction-y, walking in the back door. We walk in, and immediately I see the stage and the flashing lights and the girls on the radio. Scott brought us to a strip club to eat.
I did not. My phone brought me to a strip club to eat. You guys.
Scott apparently likes greasy food. I just said, he's like, no. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. No, my phone told me this is where I could get something to eat. I was like, Scott, what the fuck did you do to your phone that you've trained it to be so warped? That's what's happened. You're so depraved with your searches that you're like, oh, I want to eat some clams. And your phone's like, I know exactly what you want, Scotty. I got your back, brother. I think that's what's going on here.
And I think the thing was, after we were there, he kept pushing us to stay there. He's like, well, it's a small town, so there's probably not going to be much else to eat.
They got bowls of popcorn on the table. We can just eat popcorn, guys. Anyway, that aside, Bathurst was fun, and today is going to be fun, and we are going to
PEI. Tyne Valley. PEI.
Remember yesterday when I said we're going to PEI tomorrow, and Scott said no, we're going to Prince Edward Island? I love you, Scott. That's awesome. The other day, I didn't make it up. That happened, kind of, I think. Did that happen, Chris?
I was there.
There was something like that happened. Absolutely. Now people think that we're the ones lying. That's great. Scott was holding my hand the other day. That's the thing that happened.
That was.
Scott wanted to hold my hand when we were going. I don't know if we told you this.
Nadine, we wrote so many barriers.
We were going into Staples, and Scott made a joke about holding my hand, and I said, fuck you. And I grabbed his hand, and I was holding it. And, the total gay way, just clasped my our fingers together. So we're walking, and I was owning it, and we were getting a lot of looks from people. Scott figures it's because we were breaking all these barriers, younger guy, older guy, white guy, brown guy, homosexual couple. I think that people were probably shocked that there was this attractive older guy with this young rancid-looking dude. It's not rancid, Scott. You're very handsome. But then I also realized that a lot of people probably just assumed I was your respite worker. That's what I think happened. Anyway, Tyne Valley, is that what it's called?
Yep.
Tyne Valley, that's where we're going today for oysters or something. They're going to feed us oysters, which apparently oysters are an aphrodisiac.
They are.
You were aware of that?
I know.
Have you pounded oysters in the past?
Not yet.
I don't think that's very romantic. You're banging away on a woman. You're like, hold on, let me eat these slimy, greasy things. And she's like, yeah, I was hoping you'd say that. No, honey, not you.
Hang on, I got a gut full of these things I got to get rid of. Because those guys just slurp them back, one after another. They barely breathe them.
I've never had a oyster, so it's be the first time I've heard of it, I guess.
All right, Scott can go first.
Oh.
I'm not eating one. All right, I think that's...
I'm going to get a burger.
Yeah, the burger. You can eat the oysters. You can be the sacrificial lamb. No, somebody has to take one for the team, Scott.
No, yeah.
Somebody has to take one.
I'm a good thing I'm not a team player.
And since last night was the first night on this trip that you didn't have a woman throwing herself at you, that makes you a failure today. Remember when I was saying you were a legend? You're not a legend anymore because one night you didn't have an offer. You failed me. You let me down.
But you know
him. Fucking Scott has stories to tell, maybe. Something happened in the bathroom?
I'm not going to say anything on a podcast.
Okay. I think that was good enough. That's 10 minutes probably, eh? Shut this off. Any final thoughts, guys?
It's been so far so fun. We did something Porteous last night. That was good. That was nice and not uncomfortable. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's always nice when someone opens their home up to 3 complete strangers. So
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, and it's also nice because I fucking stole a bunch of shit from her. So now we're loaded up for food.
Garbage bank from her, so.
All right, signing off.